You know, last night on Sportswire Radio, we asked the question, why Godric, why? And we got an answer, though it took us forever, it seemed like, to get that answer. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I asked the same question to a man that just debuted in the Richardson Building, 325 7th Street, the biggest show in the WVWF's history. It was a standing room only, and this guy certainly made quite a debut, answering an open challenge against a man, well, he's as tough as a $2 steak, and I seen it firsthand, and he saw it firsthand, but then afterwards, he did what he did to a man that helped him. I'm going to show that footage. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about how this man is back here. He's back here in less than a month from now, and right before we're going to crown a new Super Bowl winner, could we be crowning a new Mountain State champion here in the WVWF? I have to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a number of other things here in the WVWF. We're also going to talk about the other company in the state of West Virginia that this man wrestles in, and this man was a topic in the first live show of 2026 with a man he wrestled that was here on this platform who goes by the name Blaze Ace Christian. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about another show coming up that this man's going to be in this weekend in West Virginia. We're also going to talk about what's ahead here in some other places, and we're going to certainly go down that Thunder Road here. Now, I know that this man is going to be on another podcast in a matter of days, but I can assure you that this man will not get that introduction because I'm going to give him the most introduction he'll ever get here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. But I want to hear from this man. I've been very excited for the last couple of weeks to get him on, and I want to start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado here on the Sports Report, number one sports show, a man that has certainly made quite a name for himself as a part of one of the premier groups around. In Thunder Road, you've seen him in places like Summit Pro Wrestling, Elite Pro Wrestling, and the WDWA, and now as the newest superstar in the WVWF, and boy, did he bring plenty of new heat this weekend. His name is simply put, the most right by the most is here, my friend. How are we doing?
I don't know how it could be anything other than terrific after an introduction like that. See, one thing I can guarantee is correct you've said already today is nobody else could give an introduction like that.
Oh, I know that because I've given it to some of the names in the world of heavy metal, and I've been in Parade magazine. So, but it's not about me. It's about you tonight. I'm very excited because I've wanted to have you on for a couple of weeks. You have definitely been a topic on Sportswire, especially of late, in one company in West Virginia, which I'll get to later on. But another company, which has been a big topic on my platform for a very long time, and I want to talk about, I want to go right off the bat here. The Moseley. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the companies you represent, and especially the WVWF that most certainly helped build Sportswire Radio, I ask you, why, Dean? Why?
For one simple reason, amongst many others, is I'm a little offended that introduction wasn't one of a kind. See, here I was giving you praise, and you tell me it's a recycled introduction. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit.
No, it was not a recycled thing. Let me tell you something. I have done these introductions for the man. You want to talk about Rhodes, Grand Funk Railroad, Mr. Mark Farner. We're an American band. I've done these introductions for a who's who of people. So for you to question the introduction, we can certainly end the show now.
Perhaps I'm jumping the gun.
You may be jumping the gun. I'm a big fan of your work. When you go to the whoever it is on the 19th, I guarantee you, they just said, hi, nice to meet you, Dean. You're the most. Can you tell us what matches you wrestled in? Who's your favorite wrestlers? What do you think about SmackDown? We don't do things here. But it is a topic, though. Enough about that. It is a topic in the WWE because you made a very interesting debut. You answered the open challenge to Dax Preacher. He's a man that I've had on. I know he's a tough guy. I've seen him here in front of my screen. You had a heck of a match, and then you get beat down, and then the Mountain State champion comes in, and then you certainly show him that you don't need any help. And that's why I ask, I mean, why did you do what you did?
First off, saying I got beat down is a bit of an overstatement. See, Dax Preacher took a cheap shot. He got to go one in the back of the head, pin me 1, 2, 3. I'll give him that. But the shots after, that was all cheap. That was all cheap.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with you on that. Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate the Mountain State champion, Nate Steele, coming out, and when he believes that somebody is defenseless and helpless in the ring, but the most is certainly not that. The most has never been and will never be helpless. And I took offense to that. See, I was holding my own just fine. Dax Preacher gets one lucky break, and he gets a good win. That's fine. I understand we all come up short some days, but then the rub, insult, the injury, it's just the combination of Dax Preacher and Nate Steele. It was just too much for the most in the moment, and I don't want to say my emotions got the best of me because I would do it again. And that's just the fact of the matter. And when it comes to your question, answering the open challenge of one Dax Preacher, the most is an intelligent cat. And he knows a good opportunity when he sees one. See, a former Mountain State champion is saying anybody in the back can have a piece of him. Well, I mean, the Moseley won in second. See,
I give you that. No, listen, Dax Preacher is a tough cookie. He's a tough customer. I've seen him here. I've seen him wrestle in matches that I don't even know how he got up. His opponents got up afterwards. So, I mean, it's a fair play to you. I mean, it's a fair answer that you made. And I guess in one sense, coming in here to the WWF and the biggest show, arguably, in the company's history in terms of the audience, I mean, why not, I guess, make a splash the way you did in answering Dax Preacher's challenge, going toe-to-toe with him, and then, introducing yourself to Nate Steele and introducing yourself to his grapefruits that you don't need anybody's help and you're here for yourself. And, Courtney and I were talking about this. Courtney, who was there at Parkersburg on Saturday's show. And
yes, I forgot my name.
Yeah. Well, she had a lot of other issues yesterday to deal with. She's the fan club president of Phoebe Harper, and let's not go down that road. You have other things to worry about. I'm not gonna, certainly remind you of that conversation with Godric Samuel. But I thought it was an interesting thing when she and I were talking about you, and we had made the point, at least I did, that it is a dog-eat-dog world in this sport. I've been doing this a long time. I've had on thousands of wrestlers in the state of West Virginia and elsewhere. I've had Raven. I've had Rhino on it. So I know how it works. So in one sense, I guess we couldn't blame you for what you did to Nate Steele because it is a dog-eat-dog world in this sport, and every man's out for themselves.
And that's a good point. And, at the end of the day, you need to know who your circle is, know who you fight for, and who you roll with. And for Dean Moseley, it's the Thunder Road. And I don't know if you noticed at WWF this past Saturday, I was riding solo.
I
And
did
I
see that.
had to act off of my fight or flight. And Dean Moseley's a fighter.
Oh, I know. I've watched you in the WDWA. I'm going to get to that later. No, I know you can fight. I know that you in your own right have held your own. And there was some other people that debuted in the WWF that you've also shared locker room with. So there's no question that you've done. Yeah, we'll get to him later. I'm sure Courtney.
Are we okay?
We're gonna. I mean, if I don't, I mean, Courtney's already brought it up. I mean, if I didn't bring it up, I almost feel like that I'm gonna.
You wouldn't be doing your job. I get it.
I know. See, I have her on every month. I'm gonna hear it from her. I've already heard it from you on the intro, and now I'm gonna hear it from her. But we'll get to that later. Enough about that. But in one sense, the Mountain State Championship is a very valuable prize, and especially for a guy because you made a good point that you're flying solo, and to be at the top of the Mountain State. Nate Steele, right? This is a guy to let you know that he had not won a championship. We're talking about a guy in this sport that's been here a very long time, and he has certainly had a wild ride here, literally these last few months. And maybe that's the right guy you need to make a presence and to show yourself to, because he just won the Mountain State Championship. He's battled throughout his career, and he's had some ups and downs with many here in the WWF, and he might be the most vulnerable champion right now, and that's where you could come in here February 7th and pick up where you left off after what we saw from you.
The Moseley Moseley is nothing if not opportunistic. See, the stars aligned, and it seems the Mountain State Championship chose me before I chose it, and that's going to prove to be the worst decision Nate Steele has ever made come February 7th.
Well, you know what? I'm going to show the footage. I want to show the match. I want to get your reactions to it because, we're going to do that because I was really excited to watch this match, I got to say. And a big shout out to Courtney for really doing so. She did my job because she actually videotaped these matches here, which for a long time in the WWF, we really did not have any way to watch many of these matches except for the occasional Wyatt Black one. But I'm not going to ask you about Wyatt Black right now. You have other things to worry about. But Courtney has a YouTube channel. Hit the sub button for her. She'll be taking a lot more videos of your favorite WWF superstars. So let's get to the match here. I want to do it right now. It's a quick match, relatively speaking. So let's get right to it. So there he is, the man who has certainly. Well, we got plenty of things to talk about. It's a quick match in terms of there's other matches here in the card that were like 20 plus minutes. I mean, you want to be here for 20 minutes?
All right, in comparison, I don't know if you're trying to imply that the most is some sort of slouch.
No, we're not comparing this to the finger poke of doom match, but we are going to compare it to other matches that were longer, like the King of the Mountain Battle Royal itself and the tag title match. Yeah, it's shorter than that. But enough about that. We have other things to get into, and I want to obviously remind the audience there is Dax Preacher. You've come out, you've answered his challenge, and talk to me what's going through your mind here right now.
I mean, just how good do I look to these people is always what's going through my mind. And it's not really much of a thinker because I know how good I look. I mean, I wake up me every single day and I am blessed to do so. But other than that, I can't say much is going through my mind other than, that is the beast of a man.
Yeah, that would be putting it, I guess, the right way. And you definitely are a different customer compared to what they've seen in Parkersburg. I will leave it at that. But, I mean, look, you've come in here. You've introduced yourself, a man who has held championship gold. And why not? I mean, why not show what you bring to the table? Why not show what you've done, whether it's a part of Thunder Road or whether it's in a part of other companies that we'll talk about? One of them you're going to be wrestling this weekend. And so, in a sense, I mean, why not? Why not show up and why not go toe-to-toe with a man who conversely doesn't know you? He doesn't know how to prepare for what you bring to the table.
Exactly. The Moseley is always scouting his opponents. And that's what gives me the advantage. I'm intelligent. I am not the biggest cat in the yard. I am aware of this, but I am always the smartest
Well,
person
you
in
are
the.
taller than Wyatt Black, so I mean, you're not that short. I mean, Wyatt Black, I mean, he's one
You
of the
know,
shorter ones.
there's not too many Wyatt Blacks. Let's just say that.
Well, he's an interesting guy, but he's definitely one that he definitely
Quite the
has
character.
quite the character. I think we
Quite the
all could
character.
agree on that. But shout out to him. But right now you're out there, and you definitely definitely are getting ready, and you are pointing to someone who's taking your jacket off, and there's Mr. Preacher, and he does not look like he's in a good mood right now, and but you're doing what you need to do to maybe play mind games. Are you playing mind games with Mr. Preacher, or is there something else here we're seeing?
You know, when an insecure man sees somebody who just bleeds confidence, who just excretes a bravado that is
Mm.
unmatched, it's natural to feel intimidated, especially when you are on paper the larger in the sense. But, I can tell immediately I am at the advantage mentally before we
Mm.
even lock up.
Well, that's an interesting point. I had not thought of that. I had not. That's a very interesting point. You are definitely as intelligent as you were billed. I mean, I give you that much. I had not thought of it that way. And what a nice start here. You do one of the things that I always point out in the beginning of a match is target your opponent's knees. You exactly did that. You showed what you bring to the table in other places, and you got off to a quick start. Some guys come out here in a first time match and they don't do that necessarily. And to your credit, you did.
You got to dictate the pace. I mean, you can't let life happen to you. You have to dictate the moment. That's how you stay on top.
That's a great point. Now, listen, David Ellefson, the founder of Megadeth and arguably of thrash metal, said that here a few weeks ago. You got to say yes. You got to do it. You just got to go out there and do it. And you basically proved Mr. Ellefson's point correctly. But you are taking some offense from Mr. Preacher, and he's preaching there with those punches right to the back. And although he's taking his time methodically, I don't know if I would have taken that tactic. But hey, he knows what to do, and you
No
know what to
one's
do. And there
ever
you go.
accused
There you
Dax
go. And then
Preacher of
you
being
use
intelligent.
your agility and you use your cleverness that you've gained from your own group and also other places. And there's that offense right there. I tell you what,
Yeah.
you definitely bring something unique to the table here in the WVWF. I'll tell you what, if you're here to stay, I mean, with this roster, I mean, you can definitely hold your own. It would not surprise me February 7th. You walk away with that Mountain State Championship because what you're doing here right now, regardless of the outcome with Dax Preacher, you're definitely holding your own here.
I'm just saying, if you're a betting man, it never hurts to put it all on the most.
Well, get it the bet in the most. Yeah, that might be something, especially we're in betting season right now. But right now, Mr. Preacher, it was going to bet to chop you, but instead he slapped you. I mean, maybe that wasn't the best of moves, but now you're going, you know what? You're going right at him. I mean, that is probably the best strategy you could against him. You know, you said you knew your opponent a little bit, so obviously you had to have done something to prepare for this match, even though you haven't been here before in the WVWF. But I've seen him wrestle quite a bit over the past several months, and you definitely took a different approach that his usual opponents haven't done against him.
And that's just the most in a nutshell. I always bring something unique to the table. There is nobody else like me on the indies or anywhere. And that is a fact.
You know what? I would not argue with that. I think that is a fact. That is unequivocally a fact. And I have spoke to a lot of wrestlers across a lot of different scenes. So you ain't wrong on that. You know, you're the guy that's out there in the ring, and you go back at him again. I'll tell you what, your offense definitely speaks for itself. But Dax Preacher is a tough customer and doesn't quite get the job done. But we are watching the debut here in the WVWF of the Moseley, a very impressive talent here, a very impressive rising star here over the past 2 or so years. You're watching him here right now against Dax Preacher, who's definitely got plenty of blue-collar beef, but beefomania it is. But nevertheless, if you are out there, hit the sub button for Courtney's YouTube channel. We're watching this match and some other WVWF content we've watched the last 2 days. So please support them. We'll put Dean's Instagram page up in a little bit. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. So you're definitely going back and forth with him. And you've got Mr. Preacher a little frustrated here, talking to the ref, unlike him right now.
Like I said, insecurity is one of the easiest things to spot in a man. And at this moment, Dax Preacher reeks of it.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this is uncharacteristic of Dax Preacher. I mean, and then you had something else happen there, which definitely, I was not expected, and definitely, altered the outcome a little bit. And I know that you definitely couldn't plan for.
That's just something you never really can. When I'm usually the one that's used to the 2-on-1 advantage.
Yes.
If I'm to be, fully transparent. So being on the other side isn't necessarily my favorite thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, in other places you usually are not alone, but you've come here alone in the WVWF, and you getting up here, and you have a big crowd, and at the moment they're cheering you and willing you on, and
everybody loves the most.
Could be the hair, could be the leather jacket, could be the ring maneuvers, could be all the above. I mean, for all we know, it's all the above. But you definitely, you got some strength, you got some agility, you're definitely a versatile in-ring talent, and I think that you would be quite the addition here to the WVWF for these shows coming up. And you've got Dax Preacher down, probably a lot more than anybody else has had him down recently. I mean, he's wrestled a slew of different guys out there, more so in the hardcore division. But I'll tell you what you brought to the table here, and I'm sure maybe some out there could agree or disagree with me, but I think I'd probably get more of your opinion on this, in that he's wrestled a different match that he's not used to wrestling. He's usually brawling, but unfortunately, that's going to leave a mark. That's going to definitely be, that's something you can't plan for. But you put up a heck of a fight, and ultimately, it wasn't the outcome you hoped for, but you did put on a strong showing. And Dax Preacher had some help, and like you said, the numbers game was eventually too much for you to overcome, and there it goes. And there it is. There's what's happened. There's Nate Steele. There he is. There he is, the Mountain State champion, and he's come out.
My hero.
Well, we're going to show that footage, and he's got quite a history with his other Dax Preacher. He took that Mountain State championship, and he's had it, and now, and he's coming back, and now he's had his own interesting history here in the WVWF of late, and he's helped you up. And it seems like a sign of respect. Everything's good. And I mean, all fine and well, right? Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't see that one coming. That definitely wasn't on anyone's bingo card. And there you were.
I don't know what came over me.
Let's put the volume up. We're going to put the volume up here. Hold on. I want to put the volume. I want to go right back to it. Then I want to get your opinion here, because this is really where it gets interesting. So let's do it here. Okay. Here comes Nate Steele. He's helped you up.
Don't trust him, Dean.
Yeah. Everybody loves the most. I can't blame them.
No! Yeah! Yes, he got him right in the outlaw. Yeah!
Way to put it, Courtney. Here we go. Now it's for you.
Do I look like a clown to you people? Do I look like I need help? That's what you people don't see the kid. The Moseley. He never nobody.
Confirmed back.
But wait. You're precious. Now you stay champion. How about this, buddy? You and me. Next month. That's coming on with me.
Yeah!
I'm done with you people.
And that's okay. You said you were done with the people, and that wasn't very long. And obviously, you made your case. And let's hear from you now that we just saw the footage with the volume up.
I mean, I think it speaks for itself. We spoke about it briefly when we first hit the air, and it pretty much covered it all. Nate Steele stuck his nose in business that wasn't his. Like you said, he has a past with Dax Preacher himself. And he tried to use my moment, my debut, to renew his beef with him. And that's not my problem.
Okay.
That's not why I'm here. I'm here in the business of the most and in the business of Thunder Road. And nowhere in that does that include Nate Steele. Well, for one thing, the WWF Mountain State Championship.
You're going to be in the ring with him February 7th. So I got to ask you this question. Now, you've definitely been into different places, and now that you've got this championship match after what you did to Nate Steele, so I have to ask you, what would it mean to you to be the WWF Mountain State Champion?
The most Dean Moseley has never held singles gold yet in his career, and I couldn't think of a better way to evolve from 2025 to 2026 and represent the Thunder Road in Parkersburg, West Virginia, where we usually do not cross through. And I couldn't think of a better way than being the representative of the Mountain State. And it's really as simple as that.
And you've been wrestling in the Mountain State for quite a bit now, quite a while. And you basically referenced you were wrestling in the other wrestling company in the state of West Virginia that I've talked about in the past. But now to come in here, right? Think about it. You're the most Dean Moseley in just your second match here in the WVWF to walk away with championship gold. Now think about this. Nate Steele, he has been in this sport for a decade. And it took him a decade to get a championship like the one he has. Whereas you would walk right in here, literally in less than 30 days that you've been a WVWF roster member and all of a sudden become the Mountain State Champion. You can't script this any better way than what you've given yourself an opportunity for. And on Super Bowl weekend, everybody's talking about crowning the new Super Bowl winner. Everybody's talking about the big game. Well, it seems like you've pretty much put yourself in prime position to win the big one, ladies and gentlemen, in the state of West Virginia, to be the Mountain State Champion. Listen, Cody Maverick said it here months ago. The Mountain State, that's what we know West Virginia is, the Mountain State. And you now, here with less than 30 days, being here in the WVWF, ladies and gentlemen, now could walk away after what you did and the position you've left Nate Steele to now be the Mountain State Champion.
Already, I have the advantage going into February 7th. See, I don't know what Nate Steele's true intentions were. See, on one hand, he could just be, good guy, seeing somebody new, trying to help out, be a good Samaritan, especially with somebody he has pre-existing problems with. Okay, if you're an optimist. But if you're a realist, here's an attention hog who is just slipping out of the spotlight, and he knows his time with that Mountain State Championship is coming to an end. But little did he know, his time was a lot closer than he originally thought. And the most Dean Moseley will be the reason why.
Well, that's an interesting point that you made, because this is before you, but a few weeks ago, we had on the aforementioned controversy king Wyatt Black, and he talked about Nate Steele, and he talked about kind of this, he didn't trust him. He didn't trust Nate Steele. We didn't know his motives, and basically, that's kind of what you're saying. I mean, sure, he could be a good Samaritan, but really, from what you're saying, Dean Moseley, is that he may just be an attention hog. He might want the spotlight for himself. He may not be this good Samaritan, because that's basically what Wyatt Black was saying here in a different context, but basically the same thing, because he had said at the time when Nate Steele was a part of the draw, he didn't trust him. He didn't feel good about him. He had to prove himself to the group, and then we saw what happened there the next day, and Nate Steele was never a part of the draw. You're basically saying the same thing a few weeks later, is that, listen, yeah, he might have came out to help you. He's had his own battles with Dax Preacher, but deep down, he's all about himself. This is a way to endear himself with the fans, but you're a realist. and you're a realist, is that you don't trust this guy. You don't want anybody's help. You've come in here for a reason because you want to show these people in Parkersburg you are the guy with the most. And to do that, like I said, is to walk away with the Mountain State Championship, and doing that in less than 30 days of being here in the WVWF. Whereas, like I said, Nate Steele's been here in this sport a decade, and it took him that long to win a championship of this magnitude. You walk in here less than 30 days and have that opportunity to take his championship.
You know, the old saying goes, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. He's probably a duck, you know, and once a snake, always a snake. Nate Steele has done this type of thing before, like you said, with Wyatt Black. And people do not change, unfortunately, and that is the fact of the matter in the world that we live in. And for example, the Moseley shows up his first night. He's already the top talk of the town. And February 7th, he's going to stay that way when he becomes the new Mountain State champion. There's just some things that are inevitable. And
I'll tell you regardless of whether people agreed or disagree with what you did, I will tell you what you did do that was certainly getting the spotlight. This was the biggest show in the WVWF's history. You were here with a big crowd. This was an emotional crowd. This was a crowd that was standing room only, and you did something that, yeah, people are talking about because of who was there, how many people were there. I mean, this show meant a lot more than the WVWF shows have meant before. And for you to do this against a guy that he's had quite a history here in this company, he's had quite a history of late. Certainly, he's been up, he's been down. I mean, he's been like a yo-yo. He's been all over the place. And yeah, you were one of the biggest stories of what took place this past weekend in Parkersburg because of the magnitude of that crowd, the magnitude of what that show meant. That was a free show because the WVWF reached 1,000 followers on Facebook. That was a big deal. And you, by what you've done, are probably ensuring the WVWF get to 2,000 followers. Then when we get to 2,000 followers, you know we're going to do another free show, and it's going to be tenfold, and you're going to be, instead of walking in there to an open challenge, are probably going to walk in there with that Mountain State Championship.
And leave with the winner's purse. You got to love it. You know, and that's what a championship brings that people don't understand. See, the Moseley is a family man. He has goals for that specifically. See, a championship means a bigger spotlight. It means more opportunities. It means a higher pay. And that brings my family a better life. That's what I'm striving for. The Moseley is tired of kicking it on the train tracks and eating scraps. See, I want it all. I want the filet mignon. See, I am tired of waiting my turn. And the Mountain State Championship is a representation of that. Me breaking down the door and taking it for myself.
No, I tell you what, regardless, you know, Courtney, who I know is in the chat, she and I talked about you at length yesterday after the topsy-turn of events of Godric Sandwell. And there's no question it's a dog-eat-dog world in this sport, and you definitely made a name for yourself here in a short amount of time in the WVWF. It was a big event. There was a lot of emotions there. And you definitely showed that, you know what, we're going to be talking a lot about you, undoubtedly. And we're going to be talking a lot about you between now and the 7th of February. And if you want to continue to support, which I would really hope, especially considering the mood that this man is in right now, go follow him on Instagram. We will put up the YouTube link here shortly. So definitely do that. I have a lot to talk about with this man. We are very excited. I have to say, over the past couple of weeks, that you have been one of the people that I have been really looking forward to coming on this platform for. And you're definitely not disappointing, regardless of how you felt about to start the show or not. You are definitely a guy that I think we're going to be paying attention to for a long time, and very well could be, as of February 7th, the WVWF Mountain State Champion. Let's get to some comments here. You got a lot of people in the chat. I want to get to them, and I can assure you on January 19th, that won't be happening for you. But I'm looking forward to that podcast, by the way. I really am looking forward to it. We thank them. Hello, Zilla. Thank you very much. Want to say hello to another guy named the Blaze, Aaron Blaze. Thank you, Aaron, for being here very much. A man that is very happy to see you, my brother. There you go. Thank you very much for being here. You know who he is. That's all I needed to do. Andrew Lovelace, definitely paying attention very closely from our friends in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling and elsewhere. Has also wrestled in the state of West Virginia before in the past. Hello, fellas. And there she is. The most is awesome. Definitely glad to see him in the WVWF. And I am excited to see what he does in the future. I got to agree, regardless how people feel about what you did today, still, because it's great seeing guys like you that have wrestled in West Virginia now come to the WVW, because I cover the WVW. This is one of my companies that I cover, and to see you here with what you bring to the table, it is happy days ahead here. And I do agree with Mr. Lovelace. You are definitely the future, and the future has arrived. Listen, the future is the present, because after what you did to Nate Steele, and I just think once again, the irony of this is that Nate Steele fought for a decade. He fought for a decade to win a championship, and you are poised right now within less than 30 days of being here to take that championship from him.
Who has that kind of time? Honestly, I don't have
know.
a decade. Do you have a decade? I don't have a decade to sit around and wait. I don't have a decade to sit around.
I don't have 10 minutes in my life. You don't understand. I don't have 10 minutes in my life to sit down.
That's what I'm saying. I wish it could be February 7th today, because my mantle is empty. Like you said, I've held championships in the past, and currently I possess 0. And I would like that to change. See, my mantle is cold. It gets cold at night because I need something to hold. You know, there's something counterproductive about the cold metal. It makes me feel warm, and I can't sleep the same. And I just know that Mountain State Championship will fix it. Better
you know what? You proved. I tell you what you did there was a big topic yesterday on the show, and I have no doubt you're going to be a big topic between now and the 7th of February, because I have a bunch of WVWF shows scheduled. And right now, what you did, I'll tell you what, you walked in there and you proved a point. And Courtney once again wants to say, I just want to point out one more time, I warned D.B. Rivera, man, you know very well, by the way, who did not listen, was taken by surprise. I warned Mr. Moseley. He stood tall against our Mountain State champion. You get it? Stood tall against our Mountain State champion. Did you get the last line? Stood tall against the Mountain State champion. She's clever.
Very funny.
And then she says she's always right. Although she says she's always right. So, but DB Rivera had his own.
I can relate to.
Well, it's funny. We talked about that. We talked about DB Rivera. We talked about you, and we were talking about how DB Rivera decided after his match he was confused, and he embraced obviously the team that beat him. But then you didn't do that at all. You went the complete other end, and we don't know what Mr. Rivera is doing here on the 7th of February. So, I mean, it worked in your favor. You've got Mr. Steele, whereas Mr. Rivera, Mr. Bam Allen, I don't know what their plans are. Do you?
See, you bring me on here, and I drive 4 hours to get away from DB Rivera, and here I am, and he's right there.
I can't help that if people come in, though. I understand your point, and I sympathize with you, and I thank you for doing that. I interviewed a band a couple of days ago that drove like 7 hours from Ohio just to talk to me, so I really appreciate that, but I can't help if people come in my chat, whether you like them or not. He's here, Mr. Rivera. I mean, unfortunately, I can't ban him. I mean, he
in
does
the chat.
In WWF. He's here in the chat. He's here. Yeah.
You suck.
He's here. He's here. We're going to get to his comments. He does have a few, but I mean,
follow me anywhere. The result will be the same.
He's going to have a few words to say. I have a feeling that he'll have plenty to say. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. Also, yes, hello to our friends in the great state of Ohio from the EWA. And Hubie and the gang were checking in, maybe scouting more talent to book. That's always a good thing. I hear from the grapevine that there's somebody that's been on here that is friends with Cease and Desist that Hubie is booked. So we'll have to keep that a secret until Hubie says. Follow Courtney on YouTube. You can watch more WVWF content. We'd appreciate that very much. Zilla is excited. Yes, I really was looking forward to you tonight, especially after yesterday's show. And I didn't see that coming. Neither did Nate Steele. I mean, to be fair, I mean that is a good point by Courtney. I mean, you can't argue that. There's just you can't argue that whatsoever. I mean, there's just I can't argue that. I mean, Courtney's in this case, she's right, but he is here and he wanted to point out. Never trust a man. Those are his words. I want to point it out. Those are his words, not mine or anybody else's. But I will read it in his language. Never trust a man that rolls his pants up. Which that's his words. Just want to point that out, sir.
And you said you can't ban him?
WWF. Now, if he was like a fan or something like that, that was we could ban him.
I definitely say he's a fan. At this
no, he was.
I
see. No, I can't tell you that because he was in the ring though. This past weekend, he was in the locker room. He's not a fan. He's definitely not a fan. He may have been confused about what happened. With the outcome of his tag team title match, but he's not
keeping tabs on me. It definitely seems like he's a fan.
Well, I mean, he's definitely not a fan though. I understand. Maybe he likes watching you in the ring. Maybe he knows firsthand about you in the ring. But he's definitely not one of those fans I could throw out because he was in that locker room. So then I'll hear from Lester. We don't want that. Thank you, AJ Harrison, the Don of Combat, checking in. Speaking of people, my hall monitor Justin Parsley said he missed this show, but now he's here. So speaking of people that. He's just amazed at you. A lot of people are amazed at you right now. Follow you on Instagram. You have a lot of content upcoming. Thank you, Zilla. Also, how we doing? Good. Also, thank you, Justin Parsley. And also, Zilla, by the way, Zilla loves and likes your jacket.
Thank you. Yeah, I do not think it would look as good on you, unfortunately. But that's why I'm wearing it. So thank you again.
Well, okay. Let's move on to some other comments.
What I say?
More comments. No, it's more comments. I got to get through comments. You don't. You get used to it. Right. When you're on the 19th of January, I guarantee you're not going to have the same setup. We have a lot of comments here on Sportswire. I got to move along because you have other places to go. You have things to do.
Right. We have busy schedules, Mr. Bryce. I understand. Continue.
Listen, I have interviewed Gus G, the second longest tenured guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne, and David Ellefson, the man that co-founded Megadeth. I got stuff to do. You got stuff to do. Let's go on though. Nate Steele is very insecure, betraying the draw and stealing the spotlight from the most shameful. Well, that is a point that he's been all over the place. He said it was a plan all along, but who knows really? You didn't trust him. And you know what? It worked to your advantage because you have a title match coming up. Then again, I would be insecure too if it took me 10 years to win a championship. If I were a man that I can't defend. Courtney's going for his manhood. I mean, you did take some of his manhood there with what you did.
Yeah. Might as well finish him off, I guess, Miss Wood.
You know what? Speaking of Miss Wood, now I don't know if you know this about Miss Wood, but now the previous show, she had made this big, large introduction for the draw, and we were all talking about it. Here was a big short on YouTube. Now I know you are the most. You've certainly come in here with a lot of fanfare. You've been in different companies, and I know that Miss Wood, who does a lot for us in the WWF, I would hope that February 7th, when the time comes for your match against Mr. Steele, since Miss Wood is very supportive of you and is very active here in tonight's chat, she should most certainly introduce you coming out to the ring. And then if she feels the way she does tonight, she then could introduce you as the new WWF Mountain State Champion because she made a big introduction. Everybody was talking about, Cease and Desist talked about it here. Other people in the locker room when she introduced the draw, and she can introduce Dean Moseley, and all she has to do is introduce you, not three wrestlers. One of them she hates in Wyatt Black. So I'm hoping that on the 7th of February, considering Miss Wood and how such a fan she is of yours, that she can keep her journalistic, integrity by giving you a big introduction, on the 7th of February.
If it's for free, knock yourself out.
No, she's gonna be in the building. Of course, it's gonna be for free.
Of course,
she's gotta do it. That's what she has her job. Her job is to do the introduction. That's why we're telling her that she should introduce you and she should introduce that match. Because if she could introduce Wyatt Black, she could introduce the most Dean Moseley.
Surely. Put your heart into it.
Oh, she could do that. Listen,
Yeah,
she
you
put
can't
her.
go wrong if you put your heart
No,
into
she
it.
could do that. No, she could do it. Follow you on Instagram. Who else we have? Yes, get him, Dean. Yes, yes. Also, Zilla is a fan of yours no matter what. We have Jennifer here, who was at the Mon Valley Pro show, but probably should have been at the WWF show instead. Different reasons won't get into. Thank you, Jen. Very happy to see you. Andrew Lovelace is here in the chat. Also, no idea who this guy is, but I might have to watch him now. See, I mean,
You might have to.
I would love to see you, by the way, in other places, Mon Valley Pro and, other places that we've covered here. Maybe, West Virginia, Three Rivers. I mean, listen, they could, you know what? I think, tell me what your thoughts on this are. We could certainly see you wrestle in the state of Pennsylvania because, if you were wrestling in the state of Pennsylvania, maybe the Steelers would have put up more offense yesterday and maybe Mike Tomlin would still be a head coach.
Listen, that is a sensitive issue. I am not going to.
I understand that. Listen, I'm in New York, trust me, and I get it. But I would still nevertheless say, maybe if you had wrestled this past weekend in Mon Valley Pro, considering things that have happened, whether they're good or bad, maybe that would have helped the Pittsburgh Steelers get some more offense. And who knows? But nevertheless, we'll keep going. Hello. Thank you. Okay, we'll get to some of that here.
Someone say hi to DB Rivera in my chat. Can you kick them out?
No, that's Zilla who liked you, said that she was a big fan of you, so I can't kick her out. She's like my number one fan.
Not if they like DB Rivera. I don't care how much they like me.
She said she liked you, though.
Mm.
What do you want me to
Pick
do?
a side.
No, well, we'll leave. We'll let her that. All right, I got to talk about a couple of other things here with you. I know you're a very busy man, but one of the reasons that I had really wanted to speak with you, in addition to you being here in the WVWF, is you were a topic on the first live show I had here, January 2nd, with this guy, the Blaze Ace Christian. Remember that name?
Wrestled. Yeah, I remember that tool.
Yeah, you wrestled him for his light heavyweight championship, and he had said a few things about you, and I know that I'm going to make sure that Mr. Christian gets wind of this, and I know right now he lost his light heavyweight championship. You have other things coming up. You're going to be there this weekend here at the latest WWA show, and I want to give you the opportunity. Maybe you want to say a few things to Ace Christian. Maybe you want to run it back with him, but this time, maybe run it back with him one-on-one.
Here's my thing, Mr. Christian. I appreciate the interest, but you no longer possess the thing that made me interested in you in the first place. So you get a little bit of gold around your waist. Once again, you can come and knocking at the most D Moseley all you want. Because like I said, I'm always looking for an opportunity to add a little bit of gold to the collection. But until then, unless you give me a reason to personally feel enticed by your suggestion. What are you doing?
Put the
What
match
is
up.
this?
I want Mr. Christian.
Why are you pulling this up?
Well, because WDWA management gave me the footage. They wanted to show the footage to get your reaction.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Okay.
That's what I have. That's what I have. That the management wanted me to put this match back up because Mr. Christian, we watched it with him, and now we get to watch it with you, and that will give you some of the most reactions that'll maybe motivate you and fuel you to a big win this weekend, but also remind Mr. Christian when he returns to the WDWA that maybe you'll dominate him this time.
Understood. So let me get this straight. You're in cahoots with Nate Steele, and you wanted to bring me in here to embarrass me by playing.
No, I'm not in cahoots with Nate Steele. First of all, Nate Steele's never been on my platform. Let's go with the first point. Ace Christian is a man I've known for a very long time. If you want to say
I'm in cahoots with him, then.
Well, he was on here first. He's been on here, I don't know, 6-7 times. But we've got the footage, and obviously, I'm sure you would like to run it back with him. I have some other footage of yours I'd like to share in a few minutes. But nevertheless, seeing what happened here and what will happen this weekend, I have no doubt will fuel you to a big 2026 in the WDWA.
The more I watch this, the more I want to fight him.
You should want to fight him because you didn't get a one-on-one battle with him.
You're right.
You only had
I never got a one-on-one shot.
25% chance of beating him. So if you go one-on-one against him, your chances increase.
I should be light heavyweight champion right now, and I stand by that statement. See, Chulo Montana, great
Yes.
competitor, great talent,
Absolutely.
blah, blah, blah.
Fantastic
I don't
talent. I
think
agree
he'll
with
stand
you.
with the future. But the record stands. Dean Moseley should be the current WDWA light heavyweight champion, but that's okay. That's okay because me and Troy Thunder, we pursued the tag team championships in that very same company.
Yep.
Coming up short, our last appearance there, but next weekend, it doesn't matter what we're doing. Thunder Road's going to get back on track and get that momentum building because then we will be the WDWA Tag Team Champions. And that will be the first of many in this glorious year of 2026 for the Dean Moseley and Troy Thunder. That is for sure.
And you know what? What an interesting point you made in the sense that you could have an opportunity to have singles gold here in the WVWF, but also have tag gold in the WDWA. So you could be a double champion technically in the state of West Virginia. I think that that's a really interesting point that you just made, as I undoubtedly think one of your big goals this year.
Dean Moseley. See, that's what makes me so interesting, so dangerous, so compelling. It's because I'm not just here by myself competing for singles gold. I can compete for tag gold. I can compete for trios gold. See, Thunder Road, we're equipped for all situations at all times. And that's why we are the premier group in the West Virginia area. And that it's just as simple as that, Mr. Bryce. It really is.
Well, right now, I mean, I'll tell you what, you are definitely poised for a big 2026. And if you'd like to follow Thunder Road on YouTube, I would really encourage to hit the sub button for them. Well, you can see a lot of content. You can see WDWA content. You can see other places the guys have been in, certainly tag team EPWA. I mean, there's a lot of content you can see here. Shane Malice is a man I know very well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can see here, and you can check it out here. All you have to do is hit that sub button for the guys on YouTube and follow some of their content, you know, and I would really recommend that you do so here. And some other people that want to say hello to you. And there's also Mon Valley could use some amazing talent. Absolutely. I mean, Mon Valley's got some, I heard they got some openings now, so they could sign you. You know, I mean, that would be a great idea for them. And no 2-on-1. He got this. So you got your people out here. It's a mixed bag. You know, it's a mixed bag.
You know, and that's kind of just how it is for the most Dean Moseley. I have been described as polarizing. Would be a good word to put it.
But that's the way the world is right now. Come on, you know, who isn't polarizing these days? I mean, crying out loud, that's world of current events right now. I mean,
if you don't have haters, you're not successful.
You know what's funny? My mom actually told me that, you know, it was like 6 months ago. You know, you're doing good now because you have people. But you know, I do have something for you. I do want to make up for some of the things here tonight, so I want to share my screen before I get to a few other things. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. So let me do that here right now, and I'd be happy to do that. And I guarantee on the 19th you won't be getting this because well, we just do things differently here on Sportzwire Radio. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, it's your day today. So congratulations. So it's
what is
your
this?
day. Yeah, it's your day, and you know, it's congratulations. Yeah, I got to fix the date part, but now I got it right. But congratulations, it's your day, and not to be confused with Day Jameson, but nevertheless, we appreciate you coming on here. I'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air, and look forward to seeing, you know, what else is out there for you. I mean, it's going to be very exciting times ahead, and you've talked a lot about that championship that you won in the Mountain State, and I know you're going to be in action here on the 24th, back here for the WDWA.
The most Dean Moseley is currently overwhelmed by this gift. Must I say, it's the gesture. The gesture hit home, and you know, a beautiful gift it is, but pales in comparison to the WVWF Mountain State Championship that will be gifted to me by one Nate Steele on February 7th.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, we're going to certainly find out coming up. I mean, I think that's going to be the big topic here over these next few weeks. I think we're all, you know, very eagerly awaiting what happens here in the 7th of February, a big show here. You're also going to be in action here for the WDWA. You're also a part of EPWA, so there's a lot of stuff here coming up, and it also is, by the way, this dude is a fool. Never trust a man with his pants rolled up. I've even heard from a birdie, though, that Mr. Rivera wants to come on Sportswire soon. Now, what do you do there? Because he apparently could be a potential candidate to come on here. Do you think, that now not a good idea or what?
See, here's the thing about DB Rivera, and he showed it right there.
Yeah.
See,
the hashtag, too. It's a big word there.
He'll try to insult me, knock me for being classy and rolling up the ends of my jeans. I like to look good. But here he is wearing sunglasses inside?
I've seen a few wrestlers do that.
You know what they say. Wait, what'd you say?
I've seen a few wrestlers do that. Maybe he has his reasons. Maybe, I don't know. You tell me what the reason is.
What are his reasons? Well, his reasons is because he's full of himself. That's why he thinks he looks good. He thinks he's above everybody. He doesn't want to make eye contact with his fans, and people call him a hero.
I don't know.
Moseley's a hero.
Well, I mean, you definitely have a crowd, but apparently I've received word that somebody from the WVWF has come on here, or somebody has come on here altogether, which I have no idea what I'm looking at. Now, I'm almost forced to do this because I actually have no idea. I have literally no idea. I'm totally confused. This was unplanned here tonight. So let me share my screen because I'm confused, and I'm definitely the most I've been confused here in 7 years doing this. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, it's a question mark. This is a different. You might wait a minute. Wait.
What did you do?
What? Whoa! That's who I think it is. Who did what everyone else was talking about? Whoa! It's the WVWF Hybrid Champion, Daniel Tafua!
What is your business here?
Yeah, what are you doing here? That was yesterday's episode with Roderick Stanwell.
Why are you here?
It's the Moseley episode tonight.
What is with you people in stealing my spotlight?
There's no reason to steal someone's spotlight. I actually hacked into Tom's system to actually apologize to Miss Phoebe Harper for what the mask did.
Why are you here?
You can speak. The floor is yours, Mr. Tafua.
Why?
Did you see what he did on Saturday's show? You may be the most, but the most you could do right now is let this man talk. Mr. Tafua, the floor is yours.
My apologies, Mr. Dean Moseley.
You
are the most with the most.
I am the most. Go speak, Tafua.
Okay. Just keep, combing your hair and listen closely. So, Phoebe Harper and everybody at WVWF, my apologies for what I did, but he's the one that wanted what he wanted, not me. Phoebe, you wanted what you wanted, and you got what you wanted. Now you're laying up in a hospital bed. And soon, you'll be back to normal maybe eventually. But I know you're hearing a lot of whispers because I know this mask is making you hear everything. Every single whisper, every voice in your head. I know, Miss Harper, you are so confused. But let me take you under my wing. Let me guide you as your guiding light. And now, me and the mask has set you free. And Mr. Dean Moseley, you're the most.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But now I have something for you.
Another gift?
Yes. Maybe one day you'll meet myself in that ring, and I'll give you an opportunity for a championship.
Ooh, a championship.
Exactly.
Tell me more.
You want to really hear more?
Yeah, I do.
The mask tells me to tell you, welcome to the wasteland, and you'll never forget the name of Tafua! Thank you, Tom, for letting me hack into the system.
We didn't plan that one. I guess, Mr. Tafua, it's good to see you. I guess before I let you go, I mean, Godric Sandwell did talk about that devil in the blue coat, and he did say they would pay. I just want to remind you of what Mr. Sandwell eventually got to that you missed, that they would pay.
You think I missed that?
Yeah. I mean, you did comment on my YouTube channel, which I really appreciate. Hit the sub button for us. But, I mean, you did miss when he said that live here in the Flesh and Wound.
That's fine, but the voices tell me otherwise. The whispers, this mask tells me, just like he said that he knows I'm lurking. I'm not lurking. There's no reason for me to lurk. I'm there visually, mentally, and sometimes physically.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, what the mask did to Miss Harper, Mr. Moseley, you are an interesting fellow, but I don't know if you got Nate Steele. Worry about Nate Steele for now. But Mr. Tafua, all I gotta say is what you did to Miss Harper and what the mask did to Miss Harper, and even what the mask did to Mr. Sandwell. I mean, we're not gonna forget that for a long time in the WWF.
The mask did that to Mr. Sandwell because he wanted him to open that red door, which finally he opened it. Finally, he's mad. We're all mad here. Yes, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad guy. But to be honest, put your head up, Mr. Moseley. You need to keep your head up. Exactly.
There's a Tupac song, but I get the reference.
Exactly.
But I know rap.
Godric found his place as the devil in the blue coat because I set him free from that. He didn't know how to unlock his potential, just like Miss Phoebe Harper doesn't know how to unlock her full potential. And now, since I unlocked his potential, he wants something from me, which he said we shall pay. Basically,
they would pay. Yes, he had mentioned
basically that. Us, me and the mask, nobody else. Ampo didn't know what to do.
Ampo he had his arms around Godric.
Ampo knew exactly. The mask told him, hey, look, you have to kind of set yourself free. That's basically what Ampo told him to do. But Godric is so far up his ass. I apologize that he don't want to set himself free.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Time will tell, Mr. Tafua. Obviously, we appreciate you hacking into the system here, and we hope to see you on here soon. And I guess you explained, and hopefully Miss Harper will get wind of this apology, and eventually she'll recover. And we'll see. I know Courtney right now has left the stream to go and do a prayer vigil because we know that the Phoebe Harper fan club meeting was canceled today, and instead it's been candlelight vigils throughout the evening. So we know Courtney's not here because she's doing that, and obviously you apologizing to Miss Harper maybe will help her hopefully recover and eventually come back to the WWF. And anything else you want to say, Mr. Tafua, before we let Mr. Moseley have some more or most comments he could throw out there before we sign off?
The mask tells me Godric Sandwell is close. Godric, are you in the comments?
No, we do have here. Dean has something coming. We didn't plan this. We really didn't. He is a demon. telling you be careful. Daniel Tafua is a demon. He is definitely. You have to be careful with him. He's a double champion.
What are we doing here?
I listen. We literally did not know this was him tonight. We thought maybe Nate Steele would show up. I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, but
that means that's what you wanted. Was that what the plan was?
No, we don't have any plans here. Mr. Tafua legitimately hacked into the system. He was supposed to have been here yesterday to explain himself about when Mr. Sandwell showed up, but we didn't even have Mr. Sandwell planned to show up. It's been a crazy last couple of days here in Parkersburg, like we've never had before.
You have to hack on my time?
I'd rather hack on your time because at the same time, I can give you that opportunity So when you're ready for a championship match against Tafua,
Now.
time and place is always the best place.
Mm-hmm. From one double champion to another. That's all I'll say.
Oh! Well, you know what, Mr. Tafua, we want to thank you so much for your time for being here. Mr. Moseley does deserve a few more comments, and we have definitely welcomed to the wasteland. And I know Miss Harper will hear this via Miss Wood and Godric, who knows? Okay, he's left the stream. I think it's time to go. And oh no, the mask. Okay, oh.
Dean Moseley, I shall set you free.
And he left. He left. Dean Moseley. This has been a bizarre last couple of days here in the WWF. You know, Godric Sandwell. I know you were busy yesterday, but Godric Sandwell showed up here, and he went off the deep end. Daniel Tafua basically talked about that, and he talked about his own issues they would pay going into this Devil in the Blue. I know that's your fight, but then Daniel Tafua, who hacked into our system tonight, showed up here unannounced, didn't even have his name listed here on the screen, then just shows up and said a whole bunch of things that, you know, we're going to need to digest until February 7th. And I got to say, Mr. Moseley, I had no idea this was going to happen. None of us did, just like yesterday's show, and at least we're giving you some more time to talk for a few more minutes, but you want to stay out of his battle. That mask, you were there. You were in that locker room. You saw what happened to Phoebe Harper and Godric Sandwell. You just focus on Nate Steele.
I don't even know where to pick that guy.
That's the best thing you could say. Who knows where to begin there with that? I mean, with what happened there, what you did is one thing, but what happened there with Tafua and the mask and Godric Sandwell and Phoebe Harper, I mean, she's not going to be in the building.
He showed me up?
Why do I think he showed you up?
Are you implying he showed me up?
He showed everybody else up. That's what Daniel Tafua did. Daniel Tafua.
Other than the most Dean Moseley, right?
Well, Daniel Tafua.
Like he showed up everybody except the most.
I would have to say you should
show up the most.
My advice would be is to talk to Mr. Tafua about that. You should talk to him.
That is the last thing I'm doing is talking to Tafua without witnesses.
That's a good idea. And I think that's why we should leave it at that when it comes to Mr. Tafua, because he's definitely been...
He's taken enough of my time.
He's taken enough of your time, and he's done a lot these last few months in the WWF, and who really knows what's going to happen there. You know, I think the best advice is to let Lester handle that. Double L said he would get to the bottom of it, but I think Mr. Tafua beat him to it. But also, just wanted, TB Rivera is really giving you a hard time here tonight. He's really, it's your...
What's with the pants? Rivera.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Do you have anything? All right, before I come back to some final words for Nate Steele, do you have anything else you want to plug outside of the WDWA or the WVWF? Let's start in baby steps.
Other than the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance in Kaiser, West Virginia, where I trained, the place that produced not only the most Dean Moseley, but countless other independent wrestling icons in the area. Not
Absolutely.
just the area, really, but, you know, look into it. It's in Kaiser, you know, all social medias, all of that. But other than that, just the Thunder Road YouTube, which, you know, you have done on here today. Just make
I'm
sure
going to bring that right back up.
with the Thunder Road and everything that we do, because we are always going to new places and breaking down barriers, because that's just what we do. There's a reason I'm called the most.
And you certainly have you've definitely brought some of the most reactions we've had here in a while. So, I mean, you did your job on that standpoint. I mean, and we do want to put that link up here one more time. So if you're out there, hit the sub button for Thunder Road, where you can see some matches, not just from Dean, but the rest of the group and some other stuff that's recently happened. And you can see a lot of stuff that Dean's been up to these last
Great group of guys. Great group of guys.
We'd love to have them all
Not
the
a gang.
On. Well,
not
listen,
a gang.
yeah, you guys are not a biker gang or any gang. We don't have any gangs on here.
I've never rode a bicycle in my life.
You know what's funny? That would actually make two of us, because when I was in high school, my uncle in Greenwich, Connecticut, he had this big piece of property right at the time by the WWF building, wanted to try to teach me to learn a bike and ride a bike, and I couldn't do it. But enough about the bikes. Hit the sub button for the group. there's a lot of content here that you get a chance to see. You can see the journey from what Dean Moseley has done here the past year or so, and you can see some of the great opponents and the big wins, the big moments. So hit the sub button for Thunder Road. Also hit the sub button for us if you're here for the first time, and you'll probably see some more of the group here in other places. Skulls is here from California. Thank you, Skulls. Skulls is here checking this out, so I appreciate you, Skulls. And hit the sub button, yes, for the Thunder Road group. Also, follow Dean on Instagram. I have Dean's Instagram page up. I would really recommend you follow him. And he's got a lot of stuff that he's working on in the future. He is definitely an up-and-coming talent, and the future has arrived here. All right, I know you've went through a lot here tonight, but I want to give you the opportunity. Do you have any final words for Nate Steele?
For Nate Steele. To sum it up, I guess, take that Mountain State Championship, shine it up real nice. Take the last few nights that you have with it to really make memories, to really get the most out of the time that you have left of it, because come February 7th, I will be the new and last WVWF Mountain State Champion.
Well,
tough guy.
I tell you what, I am very excited about the card, not because my logo's on there, but speaking to people that I'm sure have a few things to say about you, is Hype Man Dan Laser. So I don't know if you two have met necessarily, but he did want to say, I think, what's good, my guy?
Dan Lasers. See,
yeah.
You know, I like Dan Lasers until he gets in my way. See, Dan Lasers, he's fine. Anybody beating up DB Rivera is on my good side until they step in my way. And then, then it's a problem. And we don't want that. So, Dan Lasers, as long as you stay out of the most way, we'll stay cool.
But he did embrace Mr. Rivera. He did embrace him after the match, after that confusion. They did embrace. And, I'm sure maybe you want to advise Mr. Lasers on not embracing Mr. Rivera again, I suppose.
Don't trust him.
Maybe Mr. Lasers and Mr. Phoenix will listen to you, because Courtney Wood, they didn't.
No, if I could give everybody any piece of advice, it would be to listen to the most Dean Moseley.
Well, apparently, I guess that's a great open-ended question. But Mr. Lasers, who I know will be back on here, I think before the 7th. I don't remember what the day is. Maybe it's the day before the show. But he did want to say, you don't want the smoke.
Yeah. Stay in the comments, Mr. Lasers.
No. He will not be in the comments much longer. Not tonight, but he'll be back on Sport. No, we don't have enough time for that. He will be back on Sportswire, I think, before the show. I don't remember what the day is, but the guys are on here, so that will be a topic. And but it was your day here, despite Mr. Tafua. It was your day here on Sportswire Radio. We'll give you the physical copy when we're off there. You'll send me your information, and we'll hopefully not do it to you in a telegram, like Godric Samuel attempted to contact Phoebe Harper on a telegram. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't prepare a speech. I feel bad.
No, it's okay. I mean, but also, I think he wants to smoke because he wants the spotlight. You have some interesting.
It's my spotlight. I mean, I'm entitled to it.
You were actually, it was your show tonight. I can't, disagree with that. I mean, but before we sign off, I got to plug myself because my mom wanted me to put this out there. What was it? It was a video of me playing on the bass guitar. But Love's called Love is a Hammer. But thank you, Mom, for that. I won't put the volume up for it, but there I was playing. I was playing Once Upon a Time with my dad when he was alive, and we're actually in the same setup where I am right now recording. And the audio. We're not going to put the audio up, but it's just, you already had a busy show, but I told her I would play it, and there's my mom singing, and there I am on the bass guitar, and just nothing's changed.
Why would you play it without the audio? It's music.
Oh, because you're a busy man. I didn't want to take your spotlight up.
That's fair.
Oh, you got the volume. You got the volume. And there I was playing the bass guitar. Who would have got it? Oh yeah. There was my dad when he was alive. You got a new subscriber, by the way. Congratulations. And there I am. Okay, we've had enough. We'll play it tomorrow. But nevertheless, thank you, Ma. And you got another subscriber. By the way, let me make it up to you. Let's put your YouTube link up one more time because we got Thunder Road. Hit the sub button for me on YouTube. I got a bunch of people here. I got double digits in the chat. So I'm going to be very, very disappointed if I don't see more than one subscriber. So you know the drill. Every time I do this, hit the sub button for Thunder Road. That's not for Dean, but the rest of the group. And even you, Mr. Tafua, you may have said welcome to the wasteland, but hit that sub button for Dean Moseley to make up for what happened.
Tafua, steady up.
Yeah, Zella, you're here, Zella. Hit the sub button. I gave you 3 subs, and please go out there and let's get him to 150 when we're off the air. We're at 140 something, like 147. So let's get him to 150, and that would be really appreciated. But so everybody wants the spotlight, but they don't want the glow. Okay, I think you've had quite a crowd here today. I'm gonna pass the baton to you. Let's give you some closing thoughts, and the floor is yours. On an eventful last 2 nights on Sportswire.
As my computer machine starts to run out of juice, my final words will be just to keep an eye out. Stay tuned with everything the most Dean Moseley and Thunder Road's doing. See, my partner, Troy Thunder, is going back to Pro Wrestling Mid-South in Tennessee this weekend to represent. And then next weekend, like you said, we're in WDWA. You'll never know where we're going to be, but we are always bringing the fight and looking good doing it. I want to thank you, Mr. Bryce, for bringing the most Dean Moseley on the show, and I am sure it was mutually beneficial.
It actually was, because I mean we had a big crowd tonight, so I can't complain. So no,
Glad to be of service.
Listen, definitely it's a good, nice, and yes, you're right. And by the way, we got 4 subs for Thunder Road tonight, so we'll hit 150 because I have 2 in my pocket, so we'll have 6 subs tonight. So you're gonna get to the 150 mark for the group. So you're welcome. But one more time, if you're out there before we sign off, you haven't subbed yet to Thunder Road, go sub to Thunder Road's page. Just do it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. And you know what? For good, one more for the road. Dean Moseley has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put that up here. So hit the sub button for Dean Moseley. He'll put some content there eventually up. And I see Godric Sandwell's here, who's arrived. You missed it, Godric. Daniel Tafu was here. But he's not coming on. He was here yesterday. Don't worry, Mr. Moseley. You won't steal.
Yeah. If one more person steals my spotlight tonight, I'm going to lose it.
But that's why we want to make up for it. Hit the sub button for Dean Moseley's YouTube channel. Hit the sub button for Thunder Road. Please do that. I see Godric's here. Give him a sub. You're going to see a lot more of him, and the best is yet to come, and it's his day. And there you go. All right, well, we're going to go. Thank you, Mr. Moseley. I look forward to seeing you here after the 7th, and congratulations on getting yourself a title match. We'll see what happens.
Thank you again, Mr. Bryce. You all have a great night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters here. And Mr. Moseley has left the stream. He has some technical difficulties. And thank you for tuning in. And we'll be back here coming up Thursday night. And go watch the footage, especially if you're Godric Samuel, after what happened with Daniel Tafua. This is not L.A. for 5 seconds of fame. Well, I mean, you know the drill. I mean, you got some fame, too. You're famous. But thank you, everybody, here for tuning in. Hit the sub button for me. I'm on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. If you're here for the first time, if you're Mr. Rivera, I hope to see you on Sportswire very soon before the 7th. I think we'll have a bunch of spots for the WVWF. So that'll be great. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number 1 global radio station, that is Sportswire Radio, where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you Thursday night, and take care.